Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. It's episode 22 of Guess the Trade. We didn't have an episode last Saturday because I was actually on vacation. Me, my wife, and one of my sons was in Charleston, South Carolina. I had never been there before. We spent some time at the beach, spent some time downtown looking at some row houses and just different architecture and things like that. Really beautiful downtown. My favorite thing about the whole trip, though, was probably the Ye Old Fashioned Ice Cream and Cafe, or something like that was the name of it. A banana split that was out of this world. I mean, something like I've never had before. But if you live in Charleston, South Carolina, or you visited there, comment down below what some of your favorite things about the place is. Again, that's the first time I've been there, but I thought it was a really great place. We're actually talking about maybe going to Boston later on in the year. I've never been there before either, so comment below if you've got a must-do type thing in Boston, something that I should take part of. But again, I'm glad to be back, glad to spend some more time with you guys looking at some loadouts. Extremely hot day today, 98 degrees outside. It's really hot in here, so by the end of this video, you may see sweat on me, but we're going to make it through this. So week before last, in episode 21, we looked at three-phase. Lots of pictures, lots of different bags that we looked at. He is an electrical fitter. That's what he said he did in his trade. So then if we went back and looked at his Klein bag, he said that that was his general purpose bag. That's what he used those tools for. His SBLD, he said he used that for motor removal, and then also his Stanley Fat Max, he used that for all his work that was above 1,000 volts, and then his Tic Pac MC, he said he does high voltage breaker trucks as far as for that's how he goes. That's what he commented, as you can see here. You can read through that if you want to. He explained all those bags, and he said he is an electrical fitter. That's the task. Everybody knew he did something electrical. We might not have known the exact term of what his job is, but that was pretty obvious. So that's what he did with his loadout. I appreciate him sharing all those tools with us, all those pictures. Today I'm going to go back to doing two because the two loadouts that we're going to look at don't have as many pictures, so I'm going to put two in this one. I think that'll be a good length with that. Today we're going to look at Max Pigeon and then also Samuel Collins. So we've got Vito bags again. As usual, it seems like that's what most people are running. We have a TP XXL blackout version and then another Tech Pack that we're going to look at. But the first one we're going to look at is Max Pigeon. He's got a TP XXL blackout version. He said it weighs 26 pounds. Let's go ahead and jump into his tools and see if we can guess what he does. So here's the outside of his bag. Again, a Vito Pro Pack TP XXL blackout version. You can tell by the 2-meter pouches on the side over there. Never had a TP XXL. I did have the TP XL, and I didn't care for it because it was tippy, but I could see this TP XXL as being maybe a bag. I was between this and that MB5B whenever I was going to pick a bag this year. I could see this one being something that would be a useful bag, but I haven't owned this bag in particular. Here's the loadout as far as for the inside. He's going to pull all these tools out for us, so we're going to go through the bag first, looking at maybe if you're interested in this bag, you can see how they're loaded out inside there. So he's got a socket wrench up there in the top, along with a small crescent wrench, some bit holders, screwdrivers. He's carrying an M12, looks like possibly impact there at the inside of his bag. Here's probably something that's going to give away what he does right there. Looks like some probes down in there, meters on the side. Let's go ahead and go to the next picture and see what we see. Here's a top-down view. I think this is a little bit better picture for seeing his loadout. So looks like some wire strippers down in there. Also service wrench, 14-in-1 HVAC, 4-in-1 thermostat screwdriver, Makita sockets. We're going to see what kind of meter and things like that he has over here on this side. In the front, it looks like he's carrying a multitude of things that he would probably use in diagnostics and things like that. So let's see what he's got in the next picture over here on this side. Again, looks like maybe some clamp type for HVAC. Also a brush, some sort of a pair of pliers, some pink electrical tape. We'll go to the next picture. Here's the back side. He's got some stuff tucked down in there. I don't know what particular that is. And again, I don't do a lot of crazy HVAC work. I just do kind of your preventive maintenance and then, fix the normal stuff that happens on them. I don't do any big time HVAC work. So there's going to be probably some tools I don't know, because that's my guess already just in seeing this, is that it's going to be HVAC. But again, we can always, if it's obvious to me that someone is something, I like it whenever we try to figure out, well, what is it exactly in that field? Maybe he's not HVAC, but that's going to be my guess. He didn't tell me in his email. He did say it's going to be pretty obvious in his email. So residential, commercial, does he do installs? Does he do service work? Those are kind of questions that we can ask ourselves, and put that down in the comments below. Going here, here's all his tools loaded out. So he's carrying field piece. I'm leaning towards, I've thought about buying me a probe set and different things. I don't have any of that stuff because I just don't do that kind of work that much. I'm not real big in HVAC work in the job that I'm doing now that I'm working for myself. Now, when I worked for the company I worked for, I did a lot more, but I haven't ever bought my own specific tools yet because it's just not calls I'm getting yet. I'll buy tools like this whenever it comes up, and I've been leaning towards field piece. I feel like, to me, the more videos I've watched, I was looking at Testo, I was looking at field piece, I've been looking at different ones, and whenever it comes time to pull the trigger, I've got a job where I need to buy them specifically to get the job done. I'm leaning towards the field piece just because it seems like I like the way that it works with your phone and tablets and things like that a lot better. But let me know in the comments below, and I probably have already asked that before, and I think I got majority field piece, but let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on that. So he's got several different HVAC stuff right there. He's also got a field piece meter, the SC680. I've never owned a field piece meter. I've always bought Fluke. Klein Tools stripper right there. He's also got the channel lock. That's that big ass version, or maybe something blue as well is what they're called, but I really like those adjustable wrenches. They're a good quality adjustable wrench. I'm not sure. I think these might be channel lock tools as well. I've never seen that color handles on the channel lock ones that I've looked at, though. They've always been all blue, but I think those are channel lock. Got a couple different brushes over there. He's also got an infrared thermometer there. He's got a really long old style slotted screwdriver. I'm sure that's his pry bar and his chisel and everything else, more so than probably even a screwdriver, but he's got that over there. He's got some Warrior nut driver set. He's also got, I don't know what that tool there is. Trying to read, it says something ERSAL something. I can't tell what that is. Thermostat screwdriver, Weehaw insulated screwdriver. Also has the Klein flip socket in the, it could be it's that 14-in-1 HVAC handle is what we saw in there, but that's basically the super screwdriver with the 14-in-1 HVAC handle. He's got a long Milwaukee magnetic bit along with a flexible bit there, and then he's got a Milwaukee 6-inch with the locking bit holder. Again, just had a video for those. Milwaukee right angle adapter, service wrench, also a small 1/4-inch ratchet of some brand, some Makita sockets there. We drop down here. He's got another adjustable wrench. I'm trying to remember what the red handle one might be. I believe that might be a Klein, but all their new ones are orange handles, but maybe the red handle used to be Klein as well. I'm not real sure. You can let us know that, Max. Also has a wrench there, socket, another, looks like maybe a 1/4-inch socket of some size onto a 1/4-inch adapter, and then he's got a couple other sockets there. Some steel wool, it looks like. Also some wire nuts. Those blue and orange ones, those are good wire nuts. I like those. I also like the brown and red ones. I use those sometimes. I use Wagos a lot now, but the wire nuts I buy are typically either this kind here or also that Pro Twist brand. He's got some crimp connections there. Also a little bungee cord. Several little jumpers that he's made up there. Also some little zip ties, some little pieces of wire I'm sure he uses for diagnosing things. Some longer pieces of wire, some 3-amp fuses, probably some 5s as well, a Klein magnetizer, demagnetizers, a Navac small tubing cutter, some banding strap there, a little popper, and then he's also again running the M12 fuel impact. I can't tell if that's got plastic on the end or not. I think that's an impact because I think that's the newer one with the lights on the front there, it looks like possibly. So he's got that M12 impact there, and I believe this is his last picture. It is, because there's his name. So there's all his tools. It's a quick loadout on his, just one bag. It's that TPXXL. And again, take one last look at these tools, see what you think. I'll go ahead and go through his bag one more time, or at least this picture here, so you can kind of see the setup in case you've been interested in that bag. I'm interested if these are channel locks. I see that they're made in the USA, so that's the one question I have. is the red and blue handles. Are those channel locks? I think that they are. I've not seen them in my store, but I want to say I've seen them scrolling through Amazon or somewhere like that. So I'm pretty sure that's what they are, but you can let me know that in the comments below. But my guess is going to be HVAC. I think that's pretty obvious. It looks like he's more in the service realm of things, at least with this bag anyways. Not to say he doesn't do installs, because I've mentioned that before as we've looked through these videos. It's just because someone has one bag, that doesn't mean all their tools are in that bag. They might very well have an M18 drill and a hammer drill in their, their truck, along with some other M18 tools. It isn't as if these are the only tools this person owns. It's just the only tools that Max is showing us today as far as to guess what he does with this particular bag. And again, I'm going to go with residential service HVAC is what I'm going to say. So that's going to be my guess. But drop any questions that you have about his tools in the comments below, and then also make a guess at what it is you think he does. Now let's get into loadout number 2, which is going to be Samuel Collins. He's got a Vito Tech Pack. I think he said that his bag weighs 20 kilograms, and I didn't do the conversion before I came out here. I don't know what that is in pounds. I'll put that up over here. But let's go ahead and take a look at his Tech Pack and see if we can guess what it is that he does. So again, out here on the outside of his bag, a Tech Pack by Vito Pro Pack. He's got the hipclip.net. I don't know what that is. I might have to look that up and see what that is. I've seen so many of these Tech Packs now that it is leaning me towards wanting to get one. But I just know myself, if I do buy one, I'm going to break my back. It's going to weigh too much for me to use it probably. But again, here's the outside or the front of his bag. You can see he's got an M18 hammer drill over there on the side, and then also a Pica, some bit holders, some gloves. We'll go into that next picture, which is this side view over here. You can see his gloves. He's also rocking a Stanley Fat Max. Don't know what that is in there quite yet. We'll have to see if we can figure that out. Going to the next picture, here is that pouch that's in the front. Looks like he carries a notebook along with a headlamp of some kind. Don't know what that brand is. That little logo should be familiar, but I can't tell what that is. And then we'll see some of these. He's going to get all these out for us. I think that that's some sort of level there. But we'll go ahead and go to the next picture and see what we can see. Next picture here is that, tool side of the bag that you can see all the tools that are laid out inside there. I can see the Vessel USB driver down in there, along with some Irwin strippers, some Knipex tools. He's got the Marksman chalk shot up there. There is a bit holder, a locking bit holder. I think that's a Diablo one. I'm curious at looking at those now that I just had that video. A lot of good comments on that one about some options. Looks like he runs some insulated drivers in the small ones and also the regular size screwdrivers. Also looks like he's got some Wagos and also some sort of connector there. I'm not sure that I've seen those, but we'll go into the next picture, which is basically the tools right here that we're looking at. I put them out here, so we'll start up here at the top. He's got some Knipex angle or needle nose 26 12-200s, also some cable cutters, I want to say that maybe that is Weehaw, but that could be, yeah, it is Weehaw. I can see it there on the top up there. Some diagonals. These look like those, somebody just commented about these in the last video. They're Margzol or something like that. Maybe that's what they are. They're Japan pliers, and I know Matt HMM, and then someone else is the one who commented, and Matt HMM said he seconded it. I've got those in my Amazon wish list. I can't remember what the name is of them, but I've been thinking about getting those. There's some small flush cuts, a couple pairs of Knipex Cobras, probably looks like 7 1/4, and I would say one of them's 10-inch based upon it's about the same size as those cable cutters, and those are usually pretty decent size. Also has a DeWalt level over here, small level, Milwaukee jab saw, Bondus hex keys. Again, he's running an M18 hammer drill. We go down here, we've got some bits, drill bits inside of those bit holders hanging off the side of his bag. He's also got the Gator, I don't know if that's what brand that is, but that's what brand I always think of as the Gator all-in-one nut driver, where it basically conforms to whatever nut. So it's kind of like those things that you've seen at science museums where you press your hand into the pins and then your hand comes out the other side. Let me know in the comments below. I own one of those. I keep one in my truck. I've never really used it, to be honest with you. I thought it was just one of those things that's a good thing to have in your truck just for in case you just run into something totally weird that doesn't have a socket size that really fits it well. But let me know your experience with that. Most of the reviews on that are really hit and miss. Some people say they're complete garbage. Some people absolutely love them. Again, I don't know if there's other brands besides the Gator X or whatever it is. I know that's what they sell at Home Depot. But let me know your thoughts on that tool down below, what you think about that. And again, he's got some locking bit holders. I believe those are the Diablo version. Along with, he's got a nut driver there, looks like 1/4 inch. And then some long Milwaukee Phillips bits. Klein non-contact voltage tester. The Mark Shot. Again, I just recently picked that up because of you guys, and that's a pretty handy thing to have. Pica 3030, great pencil. Milwaukee Fastback. Here's the Knipex, and I can't remember what the name of that is, but I've looked at it a bunch of times. I want to try it bad, but I've got mixed reviews on whether or not that works well with the US AWG wire sizes. Here's a big cable stripper. Also a small ruler, some scissors of some brand. Looks like a 6-inch Milwaukee adjustable wrench. I really like that Milwaukee wrenches. That one's a little bit fat, so just depends on what you're working on. You go down here to the Weehaws. He's got the Pico Finish thermostat type drivers. Those are my favorite of that size driver if you're going to run dedicated ones. Weehaw insulated drivers. He's also got the Japan version of the Vessel USB, which would be my recommendation. And just a heads up, I was making a spacer for my US version since I made that video. It's extremely hard. It took me forever to find something because I think the little locking mechanism for the bit is even different in the USA version than in the Japan version, because I kept trying to make a spacer out of a hex driver the same way I did for my Japan version, and it would never get down in there. It would always want to turn and twist. I ended up using some pencil erasers because that was a suggestion in my Japan version one before I made my little piece, and that worked out fine. I just kept shaving little pieces of pencil eraser off, sticking it in there, and I finally got it to where it's working perfect. But I would buy the Japan version, and if the wobble bothers you, buy the Japan version. It's much easier to fix than that of the US version. That would be my suggestion with that. But continuing on, again, he's got the Irwin pliers, or the Irwin strippers that strips the sheeting and the cables as far as on Romex and things like that. He's also got a crimper and then a pipe cutter. And let's see, I'm not sure what this tool here is. It looks like it's kind of like almost like a multi-tool with some sort of a scissor and blade hook. I don't know what that tool is there. I'm interested in that, Samuel. If you can let me know what that is. It's probably something obvious and I've just never seen it before. I'm seeing what kind of gloves he wears. Looks like Trojan. I've not seen those. Don't know if those are any good or not. And then he's got, again, a Stanley Fat Max. So that's all of them that's in this front side here. We'll go over here to the back side. Here's the back side of his tech pack. He's got, again, all these pulled out. So here's his meter. He's running a Fluke 117. Hammer, another meter back in there. We'll maybe be able to see what that is here in a minute. Some Viper, a metric drill bit set. Renegade industrial bag there. That looks like a nice little pouch. Probably some Diablo spade bits or something right there. So let's go ahead and go to the next picture. Again, just letting you see how he's got the bag loaded. Here's these. He's got this hammer here. I don't know what that is. If any of you are interested to know how well that, I mean, it fits in there really easy. Quite a bit of room, so it must be a pretty small hammer. That looks like a file or a rasp. There's a pair of snips. Also, again, those were Diablo spade bits right there. Sutton Tools Viper 19-piece metric drill bit set. We'll go on over here. He's got the zip tie, little double-sided tape connectors as far as the adhesive mounts. See, I can't tell I'm trying to read the description, unless that's just black. Those might be black of the same ones. These here are white. He's got some white zip ties down there. He's also got some insulated connectors for crimping, some RJ45 Cat 6. Also, he's got some little nylon knockout plugs where you can run your wire into boxes. Black electrical tape. Here's what's inside of that Renegade industrial bag. He's got a step bit, some hole saws, not crazy big hole saws, but so that's kind of the sizes he's dealing with. He's also got another one of those bags. Looks like he's got some self-tappers, also some wood screws, different things like that inside of there. Here is I can't read what that says on the orange. Maybe that's a backhoe. You all would probably know that more than me if you've seen that before. I've not seen this, but it's basically a ratchet set with some sockets, also some driver bits and extension. There's that Fluke 117, and then he's got the Fluke 323. It's his other clamp meter right there. I think there's one more picture. This was what was in, if we go back to this picture here, this front flap, this is this right here. That's what we're looking at. And we're getting into, it's a Stabila pocket level. I've not seen this little level here. That looks interesting. GPO level, I'm assuming that maybe is a P, maybe it's a B, I'm not sure, but I've not seen that before. And then a King Chrome security bit set, so he's got that there along with a adapter to put those in. Those come in handy a lot of times for certain situations. I end up taking apart partitions in bathrooms a lot, and you run into all sorts of those things, cameras, door locks. You always need a good security bit set in your truck because you never know when you're going to run into one, so you always are maybe going to need one of those. But that's all his tools, so we'll go back and take a look at all these. Again, take one last look. There's the main side of his bag right there as far as the hand tools, the drill, all those kinds of things. And then we go back into this side. It's his meter side, driver bits and things like that, accessories, all those things. But take a last look at those tools and then guess down below what it is you think Samuel Collins does with his tools. Again, Max and Samuel, neither one told me what it was that they did in their emails. I'm going to guess something along the lines of low voltage with Samuel, just because of the RJ45 connectors, all the little connectors for the zip ties. It's more of that accessory package that's leaning me towards that with him, and the fact that I don't really see a lot of things that would lean me towards a high voltage electricity. Even though he's got a couple meters there, it doesn't look like to me he's doing high voltage electricity. But again, I could be very wrong. I'm guessing just as you would be. But again, if you've got any questions for him, drop that down below. But once you look at those tools, don't forget to guess down below what it is you think Max and Samuel both do with their tools. And then if you've got any questions for them, or you know the answers to the questions I've asked, drop them down below as well. It's always interesting to see what you all come up with for the guesses, especially the ones where, you know, you see this one specific tool and you pick that thing out and you say, I know exactly what he does just because of this tool right here. I always like to see those because it's something that maybe I didn't know, and I find that interesting. But comment down below what it is you think they do. And again, as always, I hope this video is interesting. Hope it's helpful in some ways. Again, maybe you're wanting to see how a certain bag gets loaded out, or you just learned about a new tool. That's always a good thing. So hope it was interesting. As always, stay safe. Have a blessed day. See you on the next video.